Totally. No life. Good morning. I want to say a few words about my friend Norman here. My friend Norman is at a crossroads right now in his life. He's a very powerful man. He is, he truly is. He's highly intelligent. He's very personable. He's friendly. He's saying he's trustworthy. He's dependable. He's all the things that description that they gave of the friend. You know what I'm saying? He's all of those things. He really truly is. And he's as good a friend as some of the other friends that I have in my life right now. They're very important in my life. They're a huge influence over what it is that I do every day, and trying to help push the rest of our lives forward. Because that's basically what I do. You know what I'm saying? If I come into your life, right, there's a reason. This is what I've discovered. And I ended up here with my friend Norman because of this crossroads. Right? He's made some personal decisions in his life that are going to change the direction of the rest of his life. And he wants to, and he's really committed to this. He really is. Right? And I don't see why he shouldn't be allowed. You know, there's certain aspects and certain, sections of our society in here in America that tend to be rude and disrespectful towards specific members of our society. Right, and just hate them for no reason, for no good reason other than because, they can, and this group of individuals they have their own feelings and they have their own way of connecting with the world and with the rest of us that they have to keep secret. They have to hide from everybody, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that in this modern time, in this age, in our society, we claim to be these forward-thinking human beings and that everything is agreeable. I mean, Mr. Obama made the gays legal, gave them their rights, the lesbians and all of those people, the trans people. Some of these groups are still lacking in their personal rights. In America, it's just like, if we're all equal, then everybody should be treated equal. And that's the way my friend Norman feels. And I feel the same way. We were raised in that generation that pushes this part forward, that you had respect, that you had, patience, that you grew up to be a mindful person, and that you abided by the laws of the land, and you abided by the laws of God, and you did everything in your power every day to push the power forward, right? Then, in the end, so you faced your judgment and you were deemed a good person or a bad person, and that was that. But somewhere along the line, all of this social networking stuff opened up the world and opened up the fact that we are basically all individuals within this huge framework that we call a society, and that it's the overriding norm is the general attitude of all of us in this society have towards this issue or that issue or that issue. It's called public opinion. And the news media uses it all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, but down here on the ground where real people live in reality, in the grace of God, right? Sometimes that doesn't equate to equality. Sometimes that makes, what that turns into is prejudice, right? Or racism in some cases, or hate in other cases. There are lots of people walking around every day. There's some that work with you, there's some that you're friends, some that might even be your family, that have to keep their feelings closely held to themselves because they see life in a different way, from a different angle. They approach life through a different mechanism, right? Their experience is way different than what you see on the surface. My friend Norman is very deep. He has so many layers to him. It's amazing. I mean, in just this short couple of few weeks that we've gotten to know each other again, Norman is a really good guy. He's very straightforward, which is I have a deep appreciation for because sometimes I can be gruff and rude and abrupt and abrasive. I can be because it's just in my makeup. It's my personality because of what I've been through. and how my life has been. My life has been perfect either. You know, we grew up in families that were right on the edge, right on the brink of this transition between the old way of thinking and the old morals and the old values, into moving forward into the 21st century type morals and values. Because that's what humans do. We evolve over time, and we grow and we learn, right, and we experience things, and that helps make us who we are. Because I've said this a million times, this is not us. This is just the machine that carries us around. I've said this a million times to everyone. Right? So, when we were growing up, when we were teenagers, because Norman's only 2 years younger than me, and he just turned 55, and or 56, and I just turned 58 2 days ago. We had our birthdays 2 days apart. Right? The way we saw the world was through a different set of glasses, and now, 35 years later, after we've had most of our life, and we lived it, and we scratched and we clawed, and we weren't always, we weren't always on top. We didn't always have it, like maybe once or twice in our life. Norman's had it for years. Norman had it, 10, 12, 15 years. Norman was on top of it. He was the man. In his particular art, he inspired the Burning Man thing. Norman was huge. He showed me some stuff, and I've talked to a few people, and the legend is there. It's the way that inside, the way that he felt that shaped the way he thinks right now. We've laughed and we've joked, and we've been upset with each other a little bit every now and then, right? But for the most part, we have connected on a level where the understanding of each other is there. I understand how his life has been, because mine is parallel with it. Right? And I just want to say this. I just want to acknowledge in front of the world that Norman Van Ness, my friend, right? He deserves to the status of human being for many, many reasons, but mostly for the struggles that he's put himself through, and for the things that he's done to himself, that once he's come out the other side, it really didn't hurt him. In some respects, I believe the character that it shaped has created the true Norman Van Ness that we see. He's a good man, he really is. He deserves it. He deserves the allocates that he's won. He deserves, the gratitude of those people that are grateful to him for what he's done for them. And he deserves our acknowledgement, just simply because he's a fellow human being who's made it. Remember, you cannot put a monetary value on made it. Right? It's one of those things that's priceless. It's only valuable in here. Right? If you have no value, no worth, of yourself in here, not up here, in here, right? Then it doesn't matter what you do or how powerful or how much money. None of that matters, right? Because you don't